Hey guys, Wano here and welcome back to a new video. Today we're gonna go through some of Evetech and Wootware specials to see what we can find you guys that's worth it. If you like tech videos or South African tech videos, in particular gaming stuff, whatever the case may be related to that, you have come to the right place. So everybody who's new, welcome, subscribe to the channel. For everybody who's not new, welcome back. Like the video. If we can get 50 likes on this video, yeah, let's make it 50. We will make a part 2 about this, so hit that like button as soon as you can. And yeah, that's about it. Let's get right into it. Alright, so starting off this video, I'm gonna go through Evetech. Sorry for the headset, just feels more comfortable this way. So I'm gonna go through Evetech specials. Not really just specials, but just like a bunch of different things, like upgrade kits. Some of the more common things that people buy at places like TechLot. I'm gonna start at the bottom here. The first thing you see is actually a special. It's for $5,999. I have 6,000 Rand effectively. It's a Core i5-10500 with a B460M Pro motherboard and 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. But this is pretty good for the entry level, not even a bit more budget to mid-range PC, because it's still 6 cores and goes up to 4.5 gigahertz, as you could see in the picture right there. The one problem I have is the motherboard itself. I'm just actually seeing this motherboard, I think, might actually have some RGB headers. I might be wrong. I might be wrong, but it might have some RGB headers. I know somebody else that has this motherboard. Let's just check here. I don't know. Either way, this is literally the cheapest motherboard you can get at the moment with these chipsets. It's a pretty good deal. 6,000 Rand. It's the motherboard, CPU and RAM. Like I said, 6 core, 4.5 gigahertz, pretty good. 16 gig RAM. You're not going to need more than that. So if you're looking for the absolute cheapest motherboard, CPU and RAM you can get, I would say this is it. I wouldn't say get anything else. You can move on. Let's just go down here again. You can move on to some of the other stuff. That's a bit more bang for the buck, not a lot more. Like let's say let's move on to this. I'm gonna skip the other B450M bazooka motherboard and just move on to the X470 Gaming plus Max Motherboard. It's 500 Rand more expensive. If you get the Ryzen 5 3600, amazing CPU. I would recommend getting a different cooler for that CPU though. It has a weird thing of heating up pretty fast. So the default cooler, or a trick that I actually found out recently, is you can downclock the CPU to 3 gigahertz, because it's a 3.3, 3.2, 3.6, I don't know, I think it's 3.6 gigahertz at default, but you can downclock it to, underclock it to 3 gigahertz, and it should be much more stable in terms of temperatures, and you shouldn't get much of a difference in performance. So you can do that if you want to. Anyway, you get the X470 Gaming plus Max Motherboard from MSI. Very good motherboard. Obviously have all the RGB headers, a lot of space for extra RAM. You can get, you have the more than one PCI Express slot, obviously only 1x16 as far as I know, and this would last you a long time. But the problem I have with both these upgrade kits are you're still gonna have to get yourself a decent GPU to go with that, because neither the Ryzen 5 3600 or the i5-10500 have integrated graphics, or decent integrated graphics. I don't think the 3600 even powers up a screen without a discrete GPU, so that kind of sucks. The cheapest thing you'll find that has integrated graphics good enough to do anything useful would be, I'm not exactly sure about the Intel, because I'm a Ryzen fan, so I don't know a lot about Intel. We're getting into like a 8,000 Rand range here, and the cheapest one I could find now is a Ryzen 5 5600G with the X470 Gaming Plus motherboard. Same thing, just a better CPU. This thing has integrated graphics, pretty decent actually. I've seen people play Assassin's Creed Valhalla, CSGO obviously. No, there's a lot of things people can play with this. We can run most AAA titles at low graphics, maybe 720p or 1600 to 900. Should be playable frames. I've seen people play Cyberpunk with it. There's a lot of things you can do with that, but let's just not dwindle on this anymore. I will do a more in-depth video about the motherboards and upgrade kits very soon. I want to move on to some of the other components. One of the cool things I saw, if you have some extra cash laying around, where is it again? Components, gaming chairs. I saw there's a few specials. 1,700 Rand for a gaming chair is not much. Now, it might not be the best gaming chair you can find, but if you're on a really tight budget and you really want something cool and decent to look at in your gaming setup, I would really love one, since I'm using like an old office chair. So anybody that wants to sponsor me, you know, you can you can work something out. Anyway, it's from HH Gears, pretty decent looking. I know they have different colors. I don't know if you can get it on Evetech, but it's a pretty decent looking chair. It looks comfortable enough to sit in, more comfortable than most chairs that people are sitting in. There's a few different colors. It's only 1,700 Rand, which is really cheap for a gaming chair. If you just bring in a bit more money though, you can upgrade to one of the better ones, like the Icon Shift 300 gaming chair. This thing looks absolutely insane. For 2,200, this is not a lot of money for what you get. This is beautiful. I don't know the quality of these gaming chairs. Like I said, I don't have one. Maybe, hopefully one in the future. This one can also tilt back. Pretty cool, and it looks decent, like really decent. So if you want to get yourself a gaming chair, you know where to look. Moving on, I think graphics card wise, to be honest, I would not recommend going to Evetech to this. They're not like super expensive, but I think you can just get better deals on Wootware graphics card wise. For upgrade kit, 100% Evetech. I would support them 100, but for graphics cards I would recommend going to Wootware. But let's check it out anyway, just for in case, you know. For the lols of it, we have some 2GB cards, nothing worth mentioning. I know some of you guys that don't have cards like those are freaking out right about now, but at the end of it, it's not really worth it. I would just save up a little bit more to get a better card. Even something like the GTX 1650 4GB for 5,000 Rand, it's a lot of money, but you really get something really cool for that money. I would prefer the 7,500 Rand GTX 1660 overclocked edition 6GB. That would really last you a while to play some of the the best games on the market. So yeah, if you can, buy that. If you can't, I would say buy something cheaper, but go to Wootware anyway. I think there was a monitor also, so on special. That's a motherboard. I don't know why I'm just cheaper monitors. There we go. Alright, I think I saw 144Hz monitor for not too expensive. Yeah, 3,000 Rand. It's not much for 144Hz. It's really not much. It's a very good special. I would recommend getting this. Dell makes amazing screens. It would be a good entry level 144Hz monitor. Same, I would also love to get one of these. I haven't had one to test it out. Maybe in the near future if I am very lucky and get a good break. So subscribe, like the video, and maybe we can do a review of this one once we have enough money to buy one. Alright, so that is about it for Evetech right now. If you want me to go more in depth on some of the different components, let me know in the comment section down below. Actually, I would want to go through one more thing. I want to go through the chassis. Not a lot of people need this, but there's a few cool chassis or PC cases that's not too expensive for my taste. Even Evetech's cases itself, it looks pretty cool and decent. If you have something that doesn't draw a lot of heat, one of the CPUs that doesn't draw a lot of heat, I would recommend getting something like the Gamdias Athena E1 Elite. It's a very small case, so the airflow isn't amazing, but maybe if you can get a Gamdias liquid cooler for cheap somewhere, go for it. This case looks absolutely amazing. I love it. I just love the design. It looks sleek, it looks modern. It has space to fit in a nice looking fan there. I actually have that liquid cooler in my PC case. That's the cheap, that's 700 bucks. You can go and get a lot more stuff. There's the Antec case, the mid-tower case. It's much larger than the Gamdias ones, and you can go up and up. There's tons and tons of cases under 1,000 bucks. That's pretty freaking decent. But like I said, let me know in the comment section down below if you would like me to go more in depth on all of that. Now let's move over to Wootware. Like I said, Wootware specializes in the graphics card section. They have a few pretty decent cards for not too expensive. It's still expensive in terms of what most people can afford, but it's cheaper than some of the other places most of the time. I'm a very big Nvidia fan when it comes to graphics cards, except the XFX AMD cards. They're pretty decent, just not for video production. Maybe the newer ones, but the older ones not so great for video production. I used to use the XFX RX 574GB OC edition. It was a pretty good card. I got a lot of FPS on most games that I played, but my 1050 Ti was better for video production, so I just switched back to that one. Just did the old switcheroo with my wife. Alright, we've got the 1660 Phoenix OC edition for 7.5. It's about the same as on Evetech, but it is a special on the site. You can see it's usually 10,500 Rand. You got the other 1660, but that's not what I'm here for. What I'm here for is the RTX 2060 SC overclocked gaming 6GB card. This is a very good graphics card. It's a nice 6GB. My brother-in-law has the 8GB, the RTX 2060 Super. He's getting a lot of performance out of that thing. It's not the best RTX card you can get, obviously, but it's very cheap. In comparison to some of the other RTX cards. It's usually 11,500 Rand. It's marked down to 8,000 Rand, which is amazing, if you ask me. If you have that kind of money to give out on a graphics card, I would really recommend it. You have some of the others, the Zotac. I'm a good Zotac fan. I am using a Zotac right now. There's another 1660, but I wouldn't bother getting a 1660 if you can just get a 2060 card. I mean, it's both are 6GB. One just has RTX and the other one doesn't, so I mean, it's whatever you prefer with that. You have the RX 6600 XT, very good AMD card, and it's XFX. You know I like XFX, it's beautiful. It's very sleek cards and very good on performance, and this one is 8GB. It has RTX, just not very good RTX as far as I know, so you might be able to get some very decent performance out of this one. Like I said, it looks absolutely beautiful. It's very plain in the sense of it doesn't have like a lot of RGB or something, but it looks very sleek. I love the design of the XFX cards. It's just absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that's about it for the graphics cards. I'm not gonna go too expensive on this. Another 1660, another 2060 Dual, 1660 Super, another XFX RX 6600, very good card once again. A few others for around 10,000 Rand. I'm not gonna go too much in it. There's the RTX 2060 Gaming 12GB. Very good card, obviously, but it's still stuck coming soon, so they don't have it yet. Another special that I really wanted to show you guys is the solid state drives. They have a 1 terabyte solid state, M.2 NVMe drive for 1,700 Rand. It might sound a lot, but it's really cheap. Like, it's really cheap. And you might think, okay, but it's Helix, can I trust this brand? I have a friend that's been using Helix for a while now. He actually got 2 of these 1 terabytes recently, and he's saying the performance is spot on. Good thing is it's a NVMe M.2 instead of a SATA M.2 or the normal SATA. Yeah, I think it's SATA M.2. So the performance is much better than the normal SATA ones. The NVMe ones, they have read and write speeds that's a lot more. My SSD has a 500 meg about read and write. This has 2000 read and 1700 write, so you're gonna get much more performance out of this one. It's only 1,700 Rand, marked down from 3,000 Rand, so I would recommend getting this. This is amazing. Anyway, if anybody is buying from Wootware or Evetech from this video, just let them know in like a comment somewhere or in some way if you can. That would be really amazing if I could land one of those as a sponsor in the future. And that is about it. There's a lot more that I can show you guys. If like I said, if you want me to go more in depth or you want me to do another video on this, 50 likes, it's not a lot. It's, 3,000 subscribers or 4,000 subscribers for 50 likes. It's not too much to ask. Alright guys, remember to subscribe, like the video, and with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.